Hello and welcome back to another battle report. This is a 4,000 point game. Dwarves and Ogres versus High Elves and Orcs and Goblins. It's quite a fun one. So we're going to start. We're playing Dawn Attack, and so we set up, not shown here first, and these guys set up afterwards, and the bloody rolling played quite the far from what we were trying to accomplish here, but made it for an interesting game. So here are the enemies. We have some 5 wolf riders, some night goblins, 2 hordes of swordmasters of Hoeth, and spearmen. 49 spearmen and 40 swordmasters. 2 bolt thrower, 2 rock lavas, a horde of savage orcs, couple of eagles back there, and a wolf chariot. The one eagle is represented by a griffin, and the other 2 are just bases. The one thing that was very interesting is that because of rolling, the Archmage was not able to be put in the Swordmasters, and the Shaman and BSB for the Orcs and Goblins didn't make it either. So on his right flank, you can see the Archmage out there alone. And there's another horde of Black Orcs, big uns, with the General on a boar. He's on the far corner there, facing me. And so, with all the hassle of setting up this way, we had a couple of opportunities to take out the Elven Archmage first round. Of course, we don't have a whole lot of shooting. And to take out, well, I don't have a whole lot of shooting. The Dwarfs have a fair bit. And to take out the BSB, the Goblin BSB, and the Orc Shaman. We'll see how that goes. Now, sitting up just opposite him on my left flank, on our left flank, I have 4 Mournfang Cavalry with the Dragonhide banner. I don't have a champion in here. We have a unit of Hammerers there with BSB and General. We have a unit of 4 Ogres full command and some Noblar Trappers. Actually, the Dwarven General's alone, but he's going to move right in. And then we have a Sabertusks, which you'll see a little bit better placement in a moment. One thing that we totally flubbed up here was the BSB's carrying the Master Rune of Grungy or whatever, so he was supposed to get a movement before the start of the game, kind of a vanguard movement, but not 12 inches, just to move. And unfortunately, we got that mixed up and didn't move him. It would have been really handy to have him move up, but the idea is to set these guys against the Black Orcs, take them out, and then go down the flank and focus on the big units of Elves. Here you can see it a little bit better with the placement. You can see the swamp. The Black Orcs are facing up just opposite the Mournfang Cavalry, and I think if I can get to charge, I should be able to take them out. In the middle, I have a unit of 4 Lead Belchers, which I neglect to show here. But we have this set up. We have a unit of warriors out in front of the war machines, which are 2 bolt throwers, a grudge thrower, and a gyrocopter. The gyrocopter doesn't have a base or propellers, but it's there. A unit of 20 or 25 Longbeards, was single Sabertusk, and then of course I had to place my unit of Iron Guts with my General, who's a level 4 Slaughtermaster, and BSB all the way in the corner, facing rear direction, because that's all I could fit. And this is what we're facing up against. You can see the 2 eagles in the background. The Shaman's painted there, kind of alone, hidden, and the BSB's on a wolf out there, kind of hard to see as well. Here's another little neat shot, looking good. Looking at the dwarves here, protecting this flank and the river. We're putting this river, trying to keep everything there, because we get first move. We move these guys up. The idea is to put the fuzzy units in the background, the the Longbeards, and the warriors just out in front of the war machines in case he moves up quickly to protect, try to get everybody out and take him out. This is a unit of Thunderers right here next to the river, because they're not being used the first round. They move up, angled in, so they can shoot at anyone that comes closer and approaches our lines. We're feeling pretty decent about the setup. We really didn't want to have to do it this way, but because this way we can't buff our units the way we're hoping to. The dwarves are supposed to work in synergy together, giving each other everyone within 6 inches of 5+ ward savers and missiles, all dwarves. Let them move up. I was hoping to be able to cast spells on my Mournfangs and buff them up too, but alas, that was not to be. So we take our movement, we creep these guys up a little bit to not the trappers try to move around, and I reform with the ogres to try to move them around. The lead belchers move up. Oh, and there's one other lone Sabertusk in the middle. The lead belchers move up just close enough to be able to shoot at the night goblins. The idea was to shoot them, blow them up, and make them flee. We totally forgot they wouldn't make the elves flee, but that's okay. But anyways, taking out the fanatics would be okay. On this flank, you can see we've pulled the thunderers around. They're getting ready. We're setting up our lines. The ogres move out as fast as they can to get up there. I put up the buffed Toothcracker, I think it is, so everyone within 12 inches has +1 toughness. And then I cast Troll Guts, give them regeneration, miscast, and lose that spell on 2 levels. The Sabertusk and the Gyrocopter fly up to get ready. On his turn 1, he doesn't. On their turn 1, they don't do a whole lot. The Wolf Riders run through the bog. 2 die from dangerous terrain checks, but they pass their fear, or panic, and don't run away. But they're out there trying to redirect our 2 big units here. But other than that, not a whole lot happens on this flank. On the other flank, one eagle flies up, and just to try to redirect and distract the big unit of ogres. And that's pretty much it. I think the elves crept up a little bit in behind the night goblins. I picked off a couple, but not done a terrible number of wounds. But the spearmen, the Sea Guard of Lothran, shoot with a unit of 50. They have some 35 shots, and even at long range and all that jazz, they're quite easily able to do 8 wounds to my lead belchers, so all of a sudden I'm down to 2 lead belchers. My retaliation, I shoot everything I can at these guys. I drop that ice rock from the Thunder Tusk in, and do quite a number of wounds. These guys somehow don't flee. In the top left-hand corner, you can see the mage moved into the Sword Masters. He was able to do that because we weren't able to kill him. Likewise, we weren't able to kill the BSB or the Goblin Shaman, or Orc Shaman, I mean. So we fly the Gyrocopter over, hoping to be able to kill them with a failed Lookout Sir roll, but instead we just take out a few Savage Orcs, and we just focus this side on whittling them down a little bit. Here we're able to straighten out our lines. I reform well, I don't reform the Ogres, but I do cast another spell. I miscast on that one as well. Kill a couple Ogres and suck myself into doom. So all of a sudden, my caster's gone. We have no more magic on our side, which made our turn much quicker, but also lose our general, and that makes for quite an interesting thing. I think I'll be taking the Earthing Rod from now on. Handy item. Need to think about that a little bit ahead of time. So, this Sabertusk takes out one of the rock lobbers. Instead of pursuing off the field, I turn to face his eagle, who will charge me next turn, but we'll see how that goes. This one's a push. I cause fear on him. He fails, and I still unable to wound him. Some bad rolling, and he sticks around, so I will lose this. And in their turn 2, when he charges in with his chariot, and his chariot comes and takes me out. And not a surprise there, but that's okay. He now has these 2 units right in front of my ogres. So, turn 3, I try to charge with my Mournfang cavalry. I needed a big roll. I forgot that they weren't swift strides, so I only get to roll 2. Didn't need to be huge, but needed to be pretty big. I don't get it. I fail. We try to move the hammers up to march to get in the way, and it would be really handy to have that rune where we can make the unit charge them. right now, but we don't have that. So anyhow, on our right flank, we've moved up a little bit, everything. I charged the chariot and the eagle, both which fled. The eagle fled off the board, and the chariot's out here. So of course, failed charge. The 2 units of dwarves move up to get ready. Now their turn 3. His eagle charges. I do 1 wound on him, but I'll end up losing this combat, which was quite frustrating. Sabertusks are good, but I think I'll be taking them maybe 2 at a time. See how that goes. He also charged my Thundertusk over here. He's moved up his Night Goblins and thrown out the Fanatics, but all 3 don't quite reach me. And so they're stuck right there. We'll see how it goes. Actually, I charge him, and I did it this way so I wouldn't hit the Fanatics. And what ends up happening is one of the Fanatics rolls through him, and through the eagle and kills him. That was an eagle, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. You can see over here things look a little bit different. On his turn 3, he's able to charge me. He charges me and kills my Mournfang Cavalry. I do quite a few wounds, but because I'm not charging, I'm not quite as tough as I would have been. And he's strength 7 on his charge with his great weapons and all that jazz, and it's pretty brutal. Could have used some buffs, but that's okay. So he reforms to face the Hammerers unit. The Hammerers unit's been damaged a little bit by some rocks, I believe, and dwellers below. But that doesn't matter. We recharge in our turn 4, and the Hammerers are just an awesome unit and are able to wipe the Orcs off the table, which is really fantastic. So that was a big thing. We take out their general, we get their banner, so things are all of a sudden looking much, much, much better. Now, so you can see here, this gets a little confusing right now. The Fanatics have gone all around. They haven't hit my Thundertusk, which only has 1 wound left after being hit by a rock. They do kill the eagle. I'm able to reform and move up here in a moment. And on this side, we've double charged this big unit of Savage Orcs, trying to kill the Shaman, kill the BSB. We aren't able to do it. Gyrocopter charged in the back, and we lose combat. Some bad rolling. We forgot to re-roll Hatred first round of combat, and he forgot to roll Poison because he's in a poisonous river, Necrotic Ooze. Anyways, everyone flees except for the Longbeard, so we stick around there. Now, their turn 4. Their eagle looks like a griffin, but it's an eagle, charges the flank of my Thundertusk. He's hoping to charge with the Swordmasters as well, but he moves the eagle first. And now, because the eagle's in combat, he cannot hit me and let me close the door on him because I'm already in contact with the eagle. So it's a failed charge with his Swordmasters, and I'm able to destroy the eagle pretty easily. We'll also notice his caster is missing here. The caster tried to do Dwellers Below and miscast. I think it was Dwellers. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was a buff spell. He had Lore of Life. Miscast and sucked himself into oblivion. So all of a sudden this game's getting pretty wacky. Back on this side, after the next round of combat, he is able to wipe the floor with the unit of Longbeards who did stay in our turn. So now this is the Orcs and High Elves turn 4. They break, but somehow the dwarves outrun, and they don't run into the warriors. Here, I can't remember what happened, but for some reason, I think I shoot the goblins and they flee. And this leaves a clear path for the Swordmasters to charge. One mistake that they did make as a team, they charged the Swordmasters through a Fanatic, doing a lot of damage to themselves. So we're in combat here, even though I take out the always strikes first rule. There's no way I'm going to survive this, especially only on 1 wound. And you can see the dice here behind my Ogres. I got shot at by the archers in the back, the Sea Guard. And of the 4 wounds, I saved all 4 with 3 6s and a 5. So my Ogres are still alive, healthy and hale, ready to go, and we'll see what happens. Figure that one out. And over here, we're able to rally, and we get charged by the no, we charge the Sabertusks, I believe, to hold them up. No, sorry. This is turn 5. Their turn 5. They charge the warriors, and so it's all of these savage orcs against these poor 11 warriors. And what do you know? A bunch of wounds are done. I think it was 10 wounds. No, it was 8 wounds. Here you go. Two armor saves, a 5 and a 6 in the top corner were rolled. And then the 6 ward saves, parry saves, all were 6s. I kid you not. 8 saves, 7 6s out of 8. It was amazing. We had to take a picture of this one. But they stick around, and this means that on our turn, not only do they stick around, they kill the god, the shaman. We can then get to recharge in the front here with the warriors, in the back with the gyrocopter. And then if you notice, my ogres are in the back. This was a rule we had a question about. I'm only 13 inches away. I can see them, and I roll higher than 13 inches. According to the rules, the way we read it, is that I would get to make this charge. This is very awkward and weird because there is this it's a sinister statue, or it's something like that. It's right in the middle. But because it's there, the way we read it is I'm within the charge range. I rolled higher than I am far away, so I should be able to make it, and it's no longer the same old rules. But the question is, and please answer anyone, is that correct? Is that an effective charge? And are we allowed to do that? It's a bit overkill, but especially with me in the back here, we've pretty much got this wrapped up. At this point, they concede even before I make that charge. But for fun, the high elf player wanted to take one more turn and finish up his turn 6. And because of that, I do not flee with my ogres. So they end up getting wiped out. But it made for a fun last round, and that's a big victory to the Ogres and Dwarfs. Who would have thought? But it's a nice start with the first game with the new Ogres. Hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and questions. Thank you for watching.